Assalamu alaikum, this is Nabila Sigda Thoma welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Chief Adviser Professor Muhammad Yunus calls for utilizing young generation as inaugurates the 6th Digital Device and Innovation Expo 2026. Washington to work with elected government being unbiased in next polls, says US Ambassador. Time to change people's fate as dictatorship ousted through movement, says BNP Chairman Tariq Rahman. Country must be led towards discipline through election, says Jamaat Amir. Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar of Indian state of Maharashtra and 5 others killed in a plane crash. And Bangladesh beat Thailand by 39 runs in Super 6 of ICC Women T20 World Cup qualifiers. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Chief Adviser Professor Muhammad Yunus has stressed on gearing up the technological advancements in the country to roll with the rapidly changing world, saying this sector will shape the future. He made the remark while addressing the inaugural session of the Digital Device and Innovation Expo 2026 at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center in the city today. The Chief Advisor also launched the website and the logo of Bangladesh Innovation Challenge. Speaking on the occasion, the Chief Advisor said, though the other traditional sectors will exist, the technology sector will remain the driving force like wind or air touching and reshaping every other sector, stressing that preparation must therefore begin now to advance the sector. He called upon the concerned authorities to come out of the traditional thinking while formulating policies for this sector. The Chief Advisor said the older generation are increasingly unable to lead the younger ones, not because of ill intent, but because their minds simply do not function the same way. Noting that the outdated worldview is still reflected in Bangladesh ICT sector, he emphasized on introducing true digital governance that reaches the government services to the people. Professor Yunus pointed out that Bangladeshis are highly talented and creative, stressing that this talent and creativity must not be used for harmful or unethical purposes.
24 গণঅভ্যুত্থান আমাদের সামনে অনেক সম্ভাবনার দরজা খুলে দিয়েছে, যার নেতৃত্বে ছিল তরুণরা। এই তরুণরাই নতুন বাংলাদেশের নেতৃত্ব দেবে। শুধু বাংলাদেশ নয়, তারা গোটা বিশ্বের নেতৃত্ব দেবে। বর্তমান তরুণ প্রজন্ম আগেকার প্রজন্ম থেকে সম্পূর্ণ আলাদা। ইন্টারনেট যখন বন্ধ করে দেওয়া হলো, সমস্ত তরুণ সারা দেশে বিক্ষুব্ধ হয়ে গেছে। সে বিক্ষোভের পরিমাণ এত ছিল, তারা ফুটন্ত তেলের মতো টকবক করছিল। কি হয়েছে? ইন্টারনেট বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে। কারণ বুঝতে পারেন ইন্টারনেটটা তার প্রাণের কত প্রিয় জিনিস, এটা সহ্য করতে পারতেছে না। এমন টকবক করলো এই উত্তেজনায়, শেষ পর্যন্ত এটা মহাশক্তিশালী একটা সরকারকে পালাতে হলো। পৃথিবীর চ্যাম্পিয়ন কিসে? জালিয়াতি। সব জিনিস জাল। বহু দেশ আমাদের পাসপোর্ট গ্রহণ করে না, ভিসা জাল, পাসপোর্ট জাল। আপনারা নিশ্চয় পত্রিকায় দেখেছেন আমেরিকান ভিসা জাল। এটা একটা জালিয়াতের কারখানা বানাইছে। আমরা আমাদের বুদ্ধি আছে, না হলে জালিয়াতি করতে পারতাম না, কিন্তু খারাপ কাজে লাগাচ্ছে। যে জালিয়াতি করতে জানে তার কাছে অনেক ক্রিয়েটিভিটি। কাজেই আমাদেরকে প্রযুক্তিতে আসতে হলে ন্যায্য জিনিস নিয়ে আসতে হবে। জালিয়াতির কারখানা, এই দেশ জালিয়াতির কারখানা হবে না, হবে না, হবে না। এটাকে আমরা করতে চাই না।
Special Assistant to Chief Advisor for Post, Telecommunications and Information Technology Faiz Ahmed Taib spoke at the function as special guest with ICT Division Secretary Sheesh Haider Chaudhary in the chair. Managing Director of Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority Mohammad Mamunur Rashid Bhuiya and President of Bangladesh Computer Shamiti Mohammad Zohirul Islam also addressed the function. Later, the Chief Adviser Professor Muhammad Yunus went around the expo premises jointly organized by the ICT Division, Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority and Bangladesh Computer Shamiti, which will continue till January 31st. The United States Ambassador to Bangladesh, Brent T. Christensen, has said the US government remains neutral in Bangladesh's election and is ready to work with whichever government is elected by the people. The United States government does not take sides in Bangladesh's election. The outcome of the election for Bangladesh people and only the Bangladeshi people to decide, he told the reporters after a meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin in the city's Nirbachon Bhavan in Dhaka today. About the meeting with the CEC, he said that it was a very good meeting to talk about the February 12th election, and the Chief Election Commissioner explained to him a great deal about all the policies, preparations and procedures that the interim government has been doing in preparation for the February 12th election. Ambassador Christensen said the Chief Advisor told him last week that the Chief Advisor's hope that it will be a festive day for the election day. Later, Senior Secretary of the Election Commission, Akhtar Ahmed, told reporters that the US envoy and his delegations were briefed on the overall management of the parliamentary election and referendum, with particular interest shown by them in the postal ballot system. The EC Secretary said the ambassador also inquired about the enforcement of the Electoral Code of Conduct and measures taken in cases of violation. The Election Commission explained that complaints are handled through a complaint management cell, inquiry committee and coordination with magistrates, Akhtar Ahmed said. He said the US envoy also asked whether there had been any reports of excessive action by law enforcement agencies. In response, the EC said no such incidents had been reported at the commission level, and if any local issue was there, it was resolved locally, he added. Only 14 days remain before the 13th national parliamentary election. After a long wait, nominated candidates are set to engage in a closely contested race in the much anticipated election. For the first time alongside the 13th national parliamentary election, the state will undergo reform through a historic referendum reflecting the people's verdict. As a result, campaigns for the referendum on the constitutional reform based on the July National Charter 2025 are gaining momentum across the country, urging voters to cast a yes or a no vote, with awareness banners proclaiming this time the key to change is in the hands of the voter. This unique referendum has opened a new chapter in the upcoming election by emphasizing the importance of people's decision through a yes or a no vote. Meanwhile, centering on the upcoming parliamentary election, nominated candidates in the country's 298 constituencies have launched an intense wave of campaigning with their activists and supporters. Carrying promises of development-oriented initiative, candidates are tirelessly reaching out to the voters. Voters want to elect a capable and popular representative who will stand by local residents through comprehensive development of their constituencies. The people's expectation is a new Bangladesh, free from corruption and terrorism and guided by capable representatives. Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP chairman Tariq Rahman has said that the people will not allow any vote rigging in the February 12th election. Calling on voters to remain vigilant, he said autocracy has been ousted through a movement. Now it is time to build the country and change people's destiny. Therefore, everyone must work hard and remain united. He made this remark at an election rally in the Bhawal Rajbari ground in Ghazipur late Tuesday night while returning to Dhaka from Mymensingh. Tariq Rahman said that the people had been deprived of voting for many years and that vote had been looted in various ways in the past. This time, no one will be given that opportunity, he added. He also presented a series of development plans for Ghazipur. After Ghazipur rally at 1 a.m., Tariq Rahman addressed the day's final election street rally at the Eidgah ground of Uttara, where he sought voters for BNP nominated candidate S.M. Jahangir in the Dhaka 18th constituency. Addressing the residents of Uttara, he said, "Your role in the August 5 mass uprising will be written in golden letters in the history." Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman has said that, like other political parties, his party is also apprehensive about security centering the 13th national parliamentary election. He made the remark this morning while campaigning in the Dhaka 15th constituency. Shafiqur Rahman said Jamaat is also concerned about the security. However, solution will be searched by discussing the matter with the concerned authorities. Claiming that Jamaat's public rallies are drawing large crowds and receiving a strong response, Dr. Shafiqur Rahman alleged that activists of the alliance are being attacked in different areas and that electoral discipline is being disrupted. He stressed that the country must be steered towards discipline through the election. A total of 29,728 postal ballots casted by expatriates have arrived in the countries after voting. The Election Commission (EC) disclosed this information today. In a press statement, the EC said that 7,66,862 ballots were delivered to their respective destination countries. 4,99,328 ballots were received by voters. 4,32,989 voters have completed voting and 3,79,579 ballots were submitted by voters to the post office or mailboxes of the respective countries. Of these, 29,728 ballots have so far reached Bangladesh. The EC stated that postal ballots will be counted only if they reach by 4:30 p.m. on the voting day, February 12th. Meanwhile, ballots from three categories of domestic voters have not yet started to return. A total of 15,33,000 voters have registered to vote by postal ballot from within the country and abroad. A seminar titled "Development of the Dairy Sector in Chattogram Region, Prospect and Action" was held at the field adjacent to AK Agro and Dairy Hub in the Cornfuli of Chattogram today. Fisheries and Livestock Advisor Farida Akhtar was a chief guest on the occasion. She said powdered milk worth 5,000 crore taka is being imported into the country every year. However, we can enrich our dairy industry at a lower cost by increasing milk production. We should all enrich the dairy industry by reducing milk imports. Earlier, the Fisheries and Livestock Advisor inaugurated the AK Agro and Dairy Farm, a cow milk pasteurization and marketing company in the Shikolbaha and Cornfuli Upazila. Later, she visited the activities of the milk marketing company. AK Agro Farm Director Muhammad Iqbal Hussain officials of the Ministries of Fisheries and Livestock were present on the occasion. The International Crimes Tribunal has scheduled February 1st for the next hearing of witness testimonies in a case filed against 17 individuals, including Sheikh Hasina and 11 former serving army officers, over allegations of enforced disappearances and tortures at the Rapid Action Battalion's Task Force for Interrogation (TFI) cell during the regime of the ousted Awami League. Tribunal 1 issued the order today. On the same day, the fourth day of the witness testimony was held in another case at the same tribunal involving allegation of enforced disappearances and torture at the joint interrogation cell against Sheikh Hasina and 13 others, including army officers. In this case, lawyers representing the accused army officers today cross-examined former army officer Hassanur Rahman, who was a victim of enforced disappearance. So far, BNP leader Humam Kadir Chaudhary and barrister Arman, both victims of the enforced disappearances, have given testimonies in these two cases. Meanwhile, in the case over the killing of Imam Hassan Taim in the Jatrabari during the July uprising, the International Crimes Tribunal has scheduled February 2nd for the defense hearing on the framing of the charges. At Tribunal 2, the date was set today following the completion of the prosecution's hearing. In the morning, a total of 21 people, including 13 arrested army officers, were produced before the tribunal in the connection with these cases. A training workshop on preventing misreporting and presenting objective news by the media has been held on the occasion of the upcoming 13th National Parliament Election 2026. Bangladesh Press Council organized this workshop at the Circuit House today with journalists from print and electronic media in Chattogram. Chairman of Bangladesh Press Council Justice A.K.M. Abdul Hakim addressed the occasion as the chief guest. Deputy Commissioner Jahidul Islamia presided over, while Chattogram Divisional Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Ziauddin, among others, addressed the workshop. The speaker sought the cooperation of journalists in holding the election smoothly. Now, international news. Deputy Chief Minister of India's western state of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, has died in a plane crash along with 4 other people. The cause of the crash has not been officially confirmed. Pawar was flying from Mumbai from Baramati, roughly a distance of 250 kilometers in Maharashtra state. He was travelling to his constituency, Baramati, to attend public meeting ahead of the upcoming local body election. The plane crashed while attempting to land at the Baramati airport. India's aviation regulator has said the aircraft was the Bombardier Learjet 45, which is a small business jet commonly used for charter flights and VIP travel in India. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is among those who have expressed shock and grief at the news of the crash. Pawar's home state, Maharashtra, has declared 3 days of official mourning following his tragic death. Iran has warned neighboring countries over a possible US military strike, saying any country that assists the United States in the attack on Tehran will be considered an enemy. The warning was issued by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. The caution came from political deputy chief of the IRGC Navy, Muhammad Akbar Zeda, in an interview in Iran's state news agency Fars News on Tuesday. He urged the neighboring countries not to cooperate with Washington in any military action against Iran. Meanwhile, amid fears of potential US strike, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian held a phone conversation with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on Tuesday. During the discussion, President Pezeshkian emphasized the importance of unity and solidarity among Islamic countries to maintain regional stability. At the same time as tension surrounding Iran continues, the United States has announced the start of multi-day military exercises in the Middle East. US Central Command, or CENTCOM, said the drills are being conducted by its Air Force component, the 9th Air Force, also known as the FCENT. In a statement, FCENT said the exercises are aimed at testing its ability to rapidly deploy air power and personnel across the Middle East while maintaining combat readiness. The drill also seeks to strengthen coordination with regional partners and ensure preparedness for swift response in any situation. The information was reported by the Anadolu Agency on Tuesday. The announcement of the exercises came just one day after the US Navy aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, along with its accompanying warships, arrived in the Middle East.